What's going on, guys? Back with another video on trying to make $50,000 flipping sports cards this year. So we went to a card show this last weekend. You guys are going to see the 6 cards that I purchased right up here. I bought these 6 cards for $1,725. So a huge investment for me into these cards. Obviously, you can see 2 of them are Julio Rodriguez cards, and I have another Julio Rodriguez rookie patch auto as well from, I think it's Flawless. So my higher end inventory is starting to shift a lot towards Julio. Definitely don't want to, especially when I only have probably 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 cards that are above 250 range. I don't want to get too weighed down in the same player. But if he goes off, obviously that's going to be great for me. But definitely like having some of those bigger cards. I've sold a lot of those bigger cards recently. It's not something I'm comfortable with, but I've had some success. You know, the Lou Gehrig in the last video, or the last selling video, I bought that for $300, sold it for $450 after eBay fees, walked away with $60, $70. So getting that per card is nice. Having a couple of those bigger ones in there is definitely something I want. So when I have the opportunity, I want to take advantage of that. Also that Nomar in there. We got a Superfractor Nomar 101. More of a card for me. That was the player that I liked growing up. I found one of my old baseball cards from Little League, actually, my collection recently. The back of the card says your favorite player, and on that had Nomar for me. So one of the people I watched growing up, that card kind of has that 90s feel a little bit to it for me as well. So I loved the card, on-card auto, had to pick it up. It's one of those cards where if it doesn't move, great. I'm kind of happy to have it in the collection. If it does sell, you know what, I'll make probably close to $100 at what I have it priced at. So I'm happy to move it, but I'm happy to have it in the collection as well. I know it doesn't help me with my road to 50K, but that's a part of collecting, a part of reselling. You're going to run into things that you want to keep, and, you know, when you're collecting, that's the point of it, right? It's to enjoy the cards you have. So definitely something I'm going to hold on to, at least for a little while. I'm going to show you guys everything that we sold as well, kind of break down the numbers, and then a little bit of a new strategy for myself. I'm going to move a little bit past the whatnot phase and kind of talk about my ideas with eBay and how we can improve that. But I'm going to show you guys everything that we purchased, and then we'll talk about those. Today is Thursday morning. It's been a couple days now. I think it's been 2 days since I last pulled my cards. So this is everything that's going out. Nothing too crazy, but we did see a little bit of an uptick in the sales. All these cards are $2 or less. Nothing really crazy in the beginning. Someone did come by 4 of these Piazza Delgado rookies. I've noticed that if I put it within a 120-point top loader, I don't have any issues when I mail it. If I go thicker than that with a top loader, I have issues with the post office. So this is in a 100-point top loader. Fit 4 of these cards in there. They should ship fine through the post office. Just need to make sure it's under an ounce. If not, I'll put it to the 2-ounce rate. Someone bought the 5th one of those that I had. I think I'm all out of those now. Company went for a little over $4. Brian Thomas is at a 149. Cool refractor. I picked this up at trade night. Someone just sold me all his football cards. He's more of a baseball guy. So picked them up in a big lot, and this sold for $8 plus shipping. Star Command, Blake Snell, any gold I'm always picking up into this for $3.75. Sold for $10 plus shipping. Jackson Holiday Prospect Refractor, cool refractor on that, sold for $10 plus shipping. See, Antonio Gates was a part of a big trade / a little bit. I had to throw a little bit of cash on all the cards I picked up at trade night. I think I'm into this one for $5, no more than 10, but I'm pretty sure we valued this at 5. It's out of 50, and I sold this for $20 plus shipping within a day. And then the Christian Yelich is also a part of a trade I did. This was valued at $10, sold it for $20 plus shipping. So I'm happy to see that one moving. Spencer Jones, we're going to run into a couple of prospects with these PSA slabs. It's the season for that, so I price up pretty much all my young prospects and just kind of wait to see if something happens. I found that I do a little bit better when I, go for the bigger hit on the occasional prospect. Obviously, you got to pay attention to the names. You can't just throw anyone out there, but I know he had some hype on him. Only $35, but I had this card for over a year now, and it finally moved. There's probably some chatter about him during spring training. Maybe he did something in there. I don't know what his odds of making the team are, and I guess pretty low, but you never know. I don't know much about him. And Michael Toglia, I'm going to guess his last name is. This I pack pulled myself, so you can see I have a sticker for $20 that I'm into it for. But this is out of 25, 18 out of 25. I got this graded myself, and I've had this in a graded copy for 2, maybe 3 years now. Just one of those cards I was going to hold on to for a little while. I priced it at $90, and it sold for the $90 this week, or this past couple days. So I'm going to guess someone that has a chance of maybe making the team or is doing well in spring training as well. But a nice sale there. That's one of those cards where I kind of hemmed and hawed over whether I was going to grade it. It looked like it would get a 10, so I sent it in. I knew nothing about him. Didn't really seem like his value was going up over the last 2 seasons I had watched. But decided to send it in anyways, and happy I did, because that equated to $90. That's everything that sold through Thursday. Today is Monday. We had a fantastic weekend. We actually sold more of the higher $10 plus cards than the low end stuff, so we're starting to see that inventory flip. Purdy went for 5. The Curry went for 8. This Brian Thomas Jr. went for 7. Another Purdy for 5. So even some of our lower end stuff was getting close to that $10 mark. The Marner went for $7 there. So some of the lower end stuff moved out. Happy to see it. Starting to do some setup for some dip-dits as well. I'm going to run 3 shows this weekend, or this week. Hopefully get rid of a lot of that lower end stuff. I'm taking it off my eBay and moving it there. So should start to see that dwindle down and really focus on this $10 plus. The Skeens went for $10. I ripped this myself. Will Anderson Jr. sold for $19.99 plus shipping. Picked up the Cheerio this weekend at a card show. Listed it. It sold within 10 minutes. So I sold it for $420. I picked it up for $300. So a really good flip there. A little concerned that maybe I was underpriced. There was one comp up to $500, but I saw his jersey number match went for, I think, $420. And then there was also a sale of $300 recently, more recent than the 5. So with spring training happening now and this baseball season starting, I didn't want to hold on to this. This could drop pretty significantly if he gets off to a slow start. So decided that I was very happy with the $420. Had traded this out of Justin Jefferson for this. This sold for $200. The Justin Jefferson was selling for anywhere from like $130 to $170. So made a little bit of profit. Had some damage on the back. Disclosed it. Took good pictures of it. So shouldn't have any issues there. Had a comp up to $300, but happy with the 2 there. Tom Brady at a 25 on the white mosaic sold for $110. Jeter for $15. We got this Judge rookie for $18. Corbin Burns sold for $15 there. The Cags went for $200. This had a comp up to, I think, up to $300. This may have been one where I should have priced up a little bit more. I didn't really pay too much attention. I don't know, what he's done with spring training since, or when, if it was before or after this sale. This happened a couple of days ago. But I know he just had a monster home run, one that was, the exit velocity was higher, one of the highest from last year, all last year's MLB season. Obviously, pitches and plays the field, so a lot of Shohei references with his power. People I know are super excited about him. Number to 100, got it for 130 in a trade. Kind of got the trade completed for us. We were going back and forth. When I was able to get this at $130, that sealed the deal there. So made some good profit on that. Brian Thomas Jr. sold for $65. This was one someone asked me to take multiple pictures. I guess there's issues on the back of these certified cards. So had to send 5 pictures, wanted different angles, sent 5 more. Then he wanted a lower price. I kind of held firm just because obviously if the card condition, if you're really into the condition, you think it's coming out better than normal, I'm not going to lower my price then at that point. Judge went for like 15. This Charizard I picked up off Dip, probably a couple bucks. Pokemon, I'm not going to put much into it. I want to learn a little bit about Pokemon. I purchased like 4 or 5 cards off Dip, but this one sold for 20, so a nice little profit there. Tatum went for 15. The Aaron Hernandez is actually numbered at a 50. His rookie's still pretty hot, sells pretty well. I think this went for $25, maybe $30. The Matt Corral, I picked him up. I wasn't sure if he would ever, get another chance in the NFL. I don't think he's in the NFL anymore. Had it for like $15 or $20. Someone offered me $11. Scooped that up pretty quick. Hutchinson sold on Macari. This sold for $47. Kind of an odd number there. Must have made an even number for the person, but sold for $47. Didn't really want to get rid of Hutchinson, obviously. And I want to sell people when they're hurt, just because they're hurt and their value's down. But decided to move off one of the Hutchinson autos I had. Not too bad of a deal, and I made a little bit of money off of it. Charlie McAvoy, once again, another person that's hurt. This I had up for $15. Someone offered me $10.70 and just kind of took it quickly on that one. So moved the Charlie McAvoy. that's everything that sold over the weekend. Had a monster weekend. Look forward to the rest of this week. We had some pretty big pickups. Hopefully we can move one or two of those cards as well. Today's Wednesday, not a ton going out, but we have a little bit, some good sales here. So our lower end stuff, Mancini, Peterson, this is actually 2 Peterson lot. So 2 rookie cards in there for like $6. The James Woods, pulled that myself, went for $12. This was actually surprising. So I got this off Dibdit. It's kind of like a Whatnot. It's a growing site, Dibdit Cards. If you Google that, you can find some good deals. There's a lot of shows that are kind of weak at the moment, but then you find some people that are throwing cards like this out. I think I'm into this card for like $10, and it came with someone else. So the other Pokemon card I picked up is the one I comped. I probably spent about $10 on that one. I think the value was like $15. Didn't realize how expensive this one was, but $40. So happy to see that sale. This Brady is numbered out of 500. That's the Prestigious Pros Black. Sold that for $20. Aaron Rodgers, How the Mighty Have Fallen, numbered to 25 out of 10. Sold that for 10. The Skeens for 10 as well. Got this at a local card shop recently. Isaiah Spiller. Bought, I think, like 8 cards for $10. This one paid for everything. It's numbered out of 4. The big seller today, John Cena. It's his rookie card. Sold it for $85. I know he's in, is it not the Royal Rumble, like a cage match or something. I know there's something big happening in wrestling right now, and I know he's a part of it, so that's probably why that card ended up selling pretty quickly. And then ended off with the Willie McCovey PSA 6. Sold this for $22.50. But that's everything going out Wednesday. What's going on, guys? So that's everything that's sold over the weekend, or essentially from Friday through Wednesday. The weekend was really great. It slowed down a little bit Wednesday, but still super happy with those sales. Definitely a nice little jump start to the week there. I'm going to be changing kind of my philosophy a little bit on my eBay and Whatnot. So I've been hemming and hawing about Whatnot. I would love to get on Whatnot. I do like the concept. I do like the idea of it. But as far as time goes, I just don't think I have the time to really put into Whatnot and really growing that. Where I want to focus a little bit more on my eBay and kind of treat it like a Whatnot. So people go on for their Whatnots, they go to card shows, they buy large lots, and usually in bulk, try to get a great deal. And then they flip it all on Whatnot really quickly. I don't mind the listing aspect of it. And I know a lot of people on Whatnot actually list their shows before they go in. So I know I've seen a few people where they go in, they put like they have an Ellie De La Cruz, they'll put and some sort of like rookie, they'll put Ellie De La Cruz and they'll put Cincinnati Reds on there. So people that are going in, they can look to see what card's going to be run, about when it's going to be run. They can even put pre-bids on it, and then they can, move on if they want to go to a different auction. But they can see kind of what you have. And they can search it by the team or player. So definitely an idea that I liked, but it definitely takes time to do it. And for me, if I'm going to spend that time doing it there, why not do it on eBay, where there's right now a lot more eyeballs. I was going to have a lot more followers. I even already have followers on my store. I have 680 people following my store as it is. So I can go there, and what my plan is I'm going to do weekly auctions. So I'm going to drop listings on Sundays for 7-day auctions. And then if I want to continue adding to it, I can actually do a 5-day auction as well. Drop those on Tuesday, so they'll all end on the same day on Sunday between the times of 7 and 11 p.m. From my research, that seems like it's the most amount of time that people are on eBay. And it kind of makes sense because Sundays tend to be people's family days. They're off doing things. They have some downtime in between. So they're at home scrolling through their phones. They are going to be on eBay. I know when I'm searching on eBay, I'm looking for auctions that are ending the soonest, or I do, the cheapest for a certain particular player or card team I'm looking for. And I'll kind of search that way, depending on what I'm looking at, what I'm trying to buy. So by having them all end around that time, hopefully my listings will be seen and they can put bids on there, obviously help drive it up. But maybe they'll also be interested in trying to get, those bidders at the end that are frantically trying to get their last second bids in and really seeing the auction spike up. So my goal is to have about 200 to 250 listings ready to go. I'm going to go to a card show this weekend. I want to buy at that card show, and I want to list every single card and have it ready to go on there. It's not going to be super realistic. I might not do every single card. I'm also going to be using Dibdit as well as my live selling. So there's Dibdit cards. They have about 800 followers on there. They transitioned Dibdit to Dibdit cards. It's now its own separate platform for cards. They're working on growing it. It's definitely growing kind of quick for that platform. I've had an auction there once. You guys can kind of see a little bit about that. auction, but I'm not including that in this. I made about 150 bucks, sold 45 lots. So happy with the sales, but I haven't shipped it out yet. The cool thing about DibDick cards is it's like a Whatnot where it's live selling, but you don't pay for the shipping stays intact until it's shipped. So as a seller, I'm not required to ship it within really any parameter. Obviously, you should be shipping within, like, I would say at least a week, but there are a lot of people that just ship once a week. And the nice thing about that is if you have someone that comes in and buys from you on Monday, then comes in and buys from you again on Wednesday or Thursday, they still have that progressive shipping unlocked. For me, I do $5 for my first card you purchase from me, and then it's free from there on out. So it gives people a lot of opportunities to buy. My goal is to have 2 to 3 shows on there a week. So it'll give people, about 150 to 300 attempts to buy multiple cards from me. So it's a nice kind of like feature there. So some of the lower end cards I'm going to move there. Actually, I accidentally sold a $100 card for $5 on there. I'll talk a little bit about that more when I'm talking about shipping the order. So definitely had a little bit of blunder, need to be a little bit more organized with my cards. But nonetheless, I was very happy with the results of the auction I did. Was able to move a good, healthy amount of cards. As I said, 45 auctions. A lot of them were 2 lots. I just did like a 5-card Mike Trout that I valued them all at $1, sold for 15. So happy with the results there. But gonna take the majority of the cards that I get at this card show, and I'm gonna put them on eBay and just see in the end, after eBay fees, after everything's all squared away, did I make money or did I lose money? It'll be an easy way to tell. It'll take a week to do it, but I'm happy with waiting the week to really see what we can do there. I know there's a lot of big players in that market. So as I said, I think I have 680 followers. I'm planning on having 200 to 250 listings, but I know like there's DC Sports, and then there's, I think it was 87 Sports Club, something like that. So I found 87 Sports Club. It's one of the ones I knew. I recognized they get consignment. I looked at them. They had like over 100, I think either 80,000, 87,000, or 100,000 people following their eBay. So huge numbers compared to my, less than 1,000. And then they active listings they had currently was 35,000 listings. So that's kind of the business model I want to head to. Obviously, I'm nowhere near that. It would take me forever to get to that model. You need to definitely have consignment. You're not going to go out to shows and buy that much to flip it each week. But they have a cool little plan. Kind of looked at it, kind of inspired by that method more than the Whatnot method. Whatnot's cool. I mean, I like the idea of not having to list the auctions if you wanted to go that route. But that's the route I'm going to be going with my eBay. So try to drive a little bit of traffic that way. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be about a week. There'll be another What Sold video in between that. And then hopefully we'll see a big spike the week after because I'm going to get all my Sunday sales. The other thing about Whatnot that's nice is once they buy, the payment goes through or it doesn't for whatever reason. But they're committed to buying. There's no returns. There's no refunds. There's nothing like that. eBay, they definitely have some work to do there. And I know that's something that might be coming down the pipeline with auctions, but your auction gets won and you are at the mercy of the buyer. There is no real reason for them they don't have to buy it at that point, and they can just never pay, never communicate. It's happened before, happens plenty of times. It's frustrating, but I could see that being a little bit of a nuisance, especially with some of the rare cards, that Julio Rodriguez to 7. I'm not going to run that. I'm a little too scared to do that, honestly, in the beginning. I'm going to run a few bigger cards I have where I can see some risk, but just to kind of see what happens. Not quite that kind of caliber card, especially with, he hasn't really performed to really drive up his stock as it is. The only hype we have is the whole new baseball season, but it's not like he has some crazy home run or any like crazy stat as we're only in the preseason. So definitely going to hold off a little bit on some of those cards, but I can see it being frustrating if one of those got bid up to like $400. And then, I saw the highest sale of that in the last 3 years. I think it was like $550, maybe $600. So if it got bid up to that crazy amount and all of a sudden the person doesn't pay for it. So that could be definitely one issue with the eBay. But it's exciting to kind of think about. It's going to take me about a week to get going. I have 25 listings done today, ready to go, pictured. All I have to do is upload them. I'll do that on Sunday. We're going to go to that card show. Everything I get from there, I'm going to have on there as well. But we're going to break down kind of where we stand right now. So we started with $3,890.57 in profit. I spent $1,735.70. So the majority of that, $1,725 at the card show. I did do $10.70 at a local card shop. Went there. They had dollar box that was worth it for me to go every once in a while. They're 40 minutes away. It would be very, very one-off. It's actually near a gym I go to as well. We go to the YMCA there for my kids swim, but I'm with my kids, so I really don't have time to go pick at the dollar box there. But a lot of older kind of base cards that had no value, but there were some kind of hidden gems in there. I sold one card alone for, I picked up, I think, 14 cards. There's a Bobby Witt Jr., Rapture, rated prospect card in there, probably worth about 10 to 15 bucks. I actually sold Isaiah Spiller card for auto from Leaf to 4. Sold that for 10 bucks already. So I almost made my money back on that one card. Bobby Witt will give me the others, and the rest I'm going to run through Dibdit and kind of, use those as like little fillers. But that's how much we spent. We sold $1,390.72 worth of stuff. That brings us to $3,545.59 in total profit this year. This upcoming week, I'm expecting to be kind of light. I'm going to go to another card show and spend a lot of money, so we're going to see our numbers probably go down again, I'm thinking. But then the week after should have a huge sales week. If I'm going to run the 200 auctions, 250 auctions, I'm definitely not just running like dollar cards in there. There's going to be $10 to a couple $100 cards in that. So we should see a huge spike in the sales. We should be able to get rid of a lot of the stale inventory I've had. I can't run every single card with that. If there's a card numbered to 5 or 10 of a player that's not like popular or possibly hurt or something like that, I'm going to put their card up on eBay as a buy it now. And I'm also going to try to direct people to my buy it now. So you win an auction, you can also go check out my buy it nows. Maybe, save some shipping, buy a couple of cards. So I do want to have that possibility for, people that might not have the hype or might not be people that are searched constantly, like a lot of the cards I like from the 90s. I sold, for instance, Clay Buckles, really nice patch card for, I think it was like 40 bucks. If I put that in an auction at $1 start, it probably is going to go for like 15, 20 bucks. But the right person coming at the right time, they're going to buy it for that price. And if they are drawn in by my auction and happen to see my buy it now, it might actually help me with the buy it nows as well. So kind of like my strategy going forward. I expect this week to be a little slow. I'm going to be putting a lot of effort into listing things that I'm not going to even list until Sunday that are then going to take a week to sell. But I'm excited to do the next video after that to show you guys kind of where we were. And then I'm also going to have a complete breakdown of the card show. Hopefully I'm able to buy some stuff and then how much I made and maybe flip a little bit of the business philosophy to that. But I appreciate you guys listening to me ramble for a little bit. There's definitely a longer kind of like second half of the clip outro. But if you guys can subscribe and follow me along in my card journey to making $50,000, greatly appreciate it. And have a great rest of your day.